Hello and welcome to the Ssoups channel. You guys saw the thumbnail. You know the score. I'm pissed. Colts lose to Patriots 3-26. And one of the worst offensive performances I have ever seen. I mean, everyone offensively terrible, horrid. Sam Ellinger, I feel bad for him. He was the least of our problems. The offensive line is the worst offensive line in the league. I mean, if you have any talent on your D line, they will absolutely wreck. Not just the sacks, but they will destroy our run game. It really makes you wonder how the fuck did Jonathan Taylor have such a good fucking season, and how is the season not 10 times worse when he plays? The defense did a good job. Even though we gave up 26, the defense did really, really good. They were on the field for the vast majority of the game. Special teams, terrible. Missed field goal, blocked punt that turned into a touchdown. Horrid. Offensive line, the worst offensive line in the league. Highest paid, by the way. $42 million. I could do a better job. I couldn't be worse. We give up 9 sacks, and we average 2 yards per play. 2. Oh my god. You know when you sit down to watch a football game, you kind of want to relax and have some fun stuff, right? I watched it with my family. We all fell asleep. Yep. I watched a Colts game and we all fell asleep. And somewhere around the third quarter we fell asleep. It's horrid. Sam has no time to throw. No one can run a good route. Nobody can get open. We can't run the ball. We can't protect the quarterback worth a shit. We can't even do special teams right. We now have a horrid record. And shit is getting worse. 3-5-1. The playoffs? Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? I'm just trying to win a goddamn game. Literally, that quote is perfect for what is happening. Now, I see a lot of people tell me that Frank Reich is this really, really great coach, and he knows the play calling well. He does all this stuff great. Everybody who thinks that he's shit is stupid. Well, fucking, then tell me what's wrong. I want every single fucking channel out there who knows way more about football than me, says they know best. Frank's got this. Tell me, please tell me how. What did they do? What do they do? Why hasn't he figured anything out? If it is, I would, you know what? I wish Frank Reich would come out here and just fucking say it. I wish he just vent everything out. Instead of being, oh, don't worry, guys, we'll get it next week. We won't get it next week. It pisses me off where he's like, oh, well, we need to do better. I need to do my job better. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you've been saying that for weeks now, Frank. You fired your offensive coordinator. And then we scored 3 points. You fire your offensive coordinator and then we scored 3 points. Not a great look, is it? No. Thank God Naheem left. Just for Naheem's sake. He left. He was the smartest player in the entire, in all the Colts to make sure that he got that move done. Because Naheem Hines actually decided, hey, I'm leaving, by the way. It came out that he, after the loss to the Washington Commanders, finally decided it was time to go. And he was willing to move. And he wanted the move. And I don't blame him. Just to be on the Bills, let alone getting more production. Just to be on the Bills. Because honest to God, it is going to get toxic. It will get toxic very, very, very soon. Not just the players and the fan base, but the players and the players and the coaching staff. People will be fired. This will be, surely, will be Frank Wright's last season as the Indianapolis Colts head coach. If he does not pull this around, he's done it before. I'm really out of hope on this one. I think it has gone to the point where this is it. If nothing happens this season, it's time to tear it down. Our window has shut. As our window with the players we have is almost shut. We still have a good defense with good defensive players. We had some really, really good players on defense. Grover Stewart, Zaire Franklin, Yannick Ngakwe, Kenny Moore, Buckner. Even Kwity Paye has started to turn into a pretty good player. And Stephon Gilmore. That defense is loaded with talent. And our offense fucking sucks. I've never been more bored in my life. It's so boring. It is so boring. You have to get fucking drunk. You have to get you have to drink every ounce of alcohol that you have in your entire house. Anything to watch us play. It is so boring. It is so dull. It is so unimaginative. It's so uncreative. Nothing's happening. The players are doing it right. They are executing. The play calling is wrong. They're not executing when it's right. Maybe both. It's a complete and utter mess. It's just a mess. And I don't know if you can unravel it anymore. I mean, you make these massive precautions. You get rid of your kicker. You get rid of your offensive coordinator. You trade Naheem. You do all of these things, and nothing's happening. Nothing changes. It's the same thing every week. We had one good week against Jacksonville. We scored 34 points. As I'm counting, in the season, we have scored 20 or more points 3 times. And you know what happened? When we score 20 or more points, 2 wins and a draw. Tie. It's so frustrating. I know there's people out there. I want people to tell me, what do you do? Like, if I'm Frank Reich, I watch every single play tonight. I watch every single play from every single game, and I break it down, and I find out what we are doing consistently wrong, what we're doing consistently right, and then go into practice and start fixing those things now. Figure it out. It's your job, Frank. Figure out what we are supposed to do. And you know what? If you don't have the personnel, say it. Man up. Go to the press and say, I'm going to lose my job anyway. Might as well tell you why I'm going to lose my job. Because these players can't do it. Go ahead. Make it toxic. Make it horrible. Well, we're screwed anyway. You're going to lose your job at the end of the season. Jim Irsay is going to be fucking pissed if we have a horribly negative record. And you spend all that money. And then we got to spend a lot of money next season. And I don't think he's going to be that. I think he's done being patient. I think he is fucking pissed. I think Jim Irsay is fucking livid right now. He lost to Dan Snyder last week after slagging him off. And here we are. Negative record, going down. Things are going to get bad. They're going to get really bad. It's horrible to watch. I hate watching us. I hate it. I supported them when they were good. I'm going to support them when they were bad. I'm still going to watch the games. But I dread it. It's horrible. I hate watching the Colts play. I hate it. It's so discouraging. Even if we win, it feels so lifeless. The only good win was Jacksonville, and that was a close game. But that's because we finally did something with the other half of the field. I feel so bad for our defense. They play so well. And I like defense. It's just the fact that when that is all that you see, when you get nowhere near your end zone, hardly at all, and you have multiple games in a season where you don't score a singular touchdown. That's the third one. 3 games. This year we have not scored a 1 touchdown. Against the Jags, we got shut out. Against the Broncos, we won in overtime. And now against the Patriots, we got blasted again. And the Patriots weren't good. Our defense did a pretty good job of holding them down, even though they got 26. The Patriots did not have a good time. A lot of field goals. Lots of field goals for the Patriots. I think they only scored 1 touchdown. Lots of field goals. The defense kept holding them to 3, and they saw their offense going 3 and out, or maybe 5 plays and they're done. It was hard to come across a completed pass. I was begging for a completed pass. Well, when I'm hoping that we can complete a pass, I'm not hoping that we score on this drive. I'm hoping we get a pass completed. That is a step in the right direction. Is completing 1 play with no fouls, a catch for positive yardage, or a run for decent yardage. A 4-yard run or a 5-yard catch is huge. It's almost like scoring a field goal. That's how bad it is. If you have not watched a Colts game and you're just watching this rant to go and laugh at this angry guy, it's horrible. And I'm sure not everybody's bad. I'm not saying go and fire everybody. But Frank will get fired if this season keeps going, if it gets worse. And we have the 5th hardest schedule left in the league. We're going to be we have the Steelers and the Raiders and the Texans, right? Raiders are very beatable. Steelers are very beatable. Texans are very beatable. I expect us to win those games. Then we face the Eagles, Cowboys, Chargers, Vikings, and Giants. We will get... I can't even say that. The Eagles will score 40. The Cowboys will score 40. The Vikings might score 50. Chargers, they're not doing that well, but they have Austin Eckler. He'll go for 4 touchdowns. Right? And we'll lose by like 30. The Giants, it's going to be a hard-fought game, but they're going to dominate just with their workforce at the end of the season, really trying to make a playoff push. We are just sleepwalking. And the Texans game, if we are out of the playoffs, we go into that Texans game, we're going to lose. Because nobody's going to give a fuck. And I question whether the players actually give a fuck now. Because they embarrass themselves on a weekly stage. They embarrass themselves almost weekly. And even if you really don't give a shit about winning, it kind of takes... Your money in the future is getting destroyed by this season. Even if you played good, your money, a lot of you guys' money, it's going away. You're giving people an excuse to lower your contracts. Lose your money. And lose your jobs. I don't get it. And have some pride in yourself. Have some pride in your job and what you do. Try and be the best at it. Don't just sit there and give up. I'm not saying anybody's giving up. I'm not saying we're throwing in the towel. I don't think we would do that. But my God, I could not be Sam Ehlinger or Matt Ryan. I think Nick Foles is dreading the opportunity to be the starting quarterback. I think he absolutely does not want to play a snap for us right now because he will be crushed. Matt Ryan will be crushed. I feel bad for all three of our quarterbacks. They will get crushed. And for Chris Ballard, being asked on certain areas why we are understaffed, under rostered, and maybe the talent is low, getting pissed, saying you're shit. Right? He did that to somebody. He did to somebody who asked, "Are you okay with the depth of talent at wide receiver? Are you sure we're okay there?" And he got angry. He said, "You're a shit." She said to that guy, "You're a shit journalist. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Go away. You're never going to be invited to a press conference again." Do they look good? No. And if it's not them, then tell me who is. What's the issue? If it's not the wide receivers, if the wide receivers are making no mistakes and they're perfect and they're great, then who's making mistakes? We're gonna put it down to Sam. We're gonna put down the kicker again. Get a new kicker and make him the scapegoat because he missed a field goal. Just because he missed a field goal, what? Then it would be 6-26. So, who cares? We're shit. We are fucking shit. And it's a pain. I hate watching this team right now. I people pay money and they give time on their weekends. They pay money. They spend their time listening to stuff about the team, being attentive and supporting, and then they just don't get the same effort back. They don't get the same commitment back from everyone else. It seems like. I mean, you can be bad, right? But what makes it bad? And why I'm saying that is when you give us expectations that we are supposed to be good, saying this is the year we win our division. This is our guy. This is the one. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to be Super Bowl champions. We're going to win 2 Super Bowls in the next 10 years. Whatever Jim Irsay said. And this is what you cook up. This is it. This is the culmination of all the work with Chris Ballard and Frank Reich and all the players. This is what it ends. No division titles. No Super Bowl wins or appearances, let alone an AFC conference appearance. What's the point? You have to get drunk to watch Pacers. Subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed. This is a rant. I just want to see some good football from my team. I want to see some fight, passion. It seems passionless. Seems like everybody's just doesn't know what to do and they've kind of just given up a little bit on giving up on finding a solution. Not playing, just finding a solution, and they're just sleepwalking, going through the motions because we don't know what's wrong. Need to get better, but we don't know how. And they're not getting any guidance from Frank Reich, that's for sure. So, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Yet I'll still be watching the Raiders game. They got me hooked.